going. Gonna get this going. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? So we got something a little set up here. Before we jump into it, let me go ahead and put my watch on. But before we jump into it, if you notice, which hand is this? If you notice, I got 3 helmets here. I got my baby, my old baby, and there's something like right there. What's that helmet, everybody? So I actually posted that review. It's about 30 minutes. It took me a while, but I felt like I wanted to do no bullshit, in-depth review of a Rubbernecking helmet. It's on Patreon right now. I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta wait on it before I can send it out to everybody, but whatever. If they get upset with that, then whatever. Anyways, the Atlas 2? Exactly. Simon, how you doing? Florida, what is up? What is up? We're gonna be jumping into some accident stuff. You see right below, we have another MotoStars video, basically. So we're gonna be watching that. The weather, dude, it is. Let me show you the weather. The weather is pretty nuts. I went out riding today, and that was it was great. It's super cold. It's 38 degrees. It's 38 degrees right now. Really cold. It's really cold today. So I'm just gonna sit here and hang out in my office after doing some editing and hang out with you guys, and we're gonna do some cool videos. Also, if you guys notice the super chats, there's a blank spot in the second spot. That's for the highest super chat of the month, new month. So that's coming up. But yeah, we got the video here. Also, I got some really cool things when it's coming to. I'm gonna give Patreon and my YouTube members an update pretty soon. But like I said, the Rubbernecking review is up on Patreon right now from everybody. BH Fusion, how you doing? Guys, we had an amazing... Oh, this is about to fall. We had... Let me go ahead and move this camera. Or not the camera, this light. My key light. Let's go ahead. Ah, it's so bright. It looks terrible. There we go. I think that looks better. We had a great weekend, guys. We had Yammy Noob down here. Him and I had a nice dinner on last Thursday, and then we hung out all day Friday. Rode up Mount Lemon, test rode a few things. He got to ride my FTR. He had a lot of fun on that. I got to test him when it came to the Arizona endorsement, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. What else did we do? We had the nice meetup. We had an amazing meetup. We got to meet like 100 people. That was a ton of fun. So guys, expect some more stuff like that coming out, and we're gonna do some really cool things. I have plans that 2020 is gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait for everything to really start off. But I'll be giving that update to all my patrons and YouTube members. So if you guys would like to become a YouTube member, please do so. Click that join button. But if you would like to support the channel on Patreon, get some behind the scenes stuff, please do so. Like I said, there's that link right there. And we already got the first super chat of the month. Richard Storeson. Hopefully I said that right. Thank you so much. Helen wants a shout out from Naomi84. Helen wants a shout out. What's up, Helen? How you doing? Thank you for being a part of this. We're gonna be watching some crash footage, some accident scene footage like this. Look at that. Boom, boom. Thank you from Sweden. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Look at that. Boom. Top donator of the month already. Look at most recent super chat. Top donator of the month. I really appreciate it. Newest YouTube member is Adam. Total YouTube members 167. I'm gonna see if I could put the Patreon number there too, but Patreon is acting a little funky when it comes to their browser. So we're gonna jump into the crash stuff, and once again, if you have any questions, if you want to talk or anything like that, please do so. That's the whole point, is we're gonna be learning from these crashes. It's an after action review for a reason. We're gonna be talking about what went right, what went wrong, and then how we could use that information to be better at this. Team up with MC Rider. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun. The RR310. Are you talking about the RC, the KTM? Because that's no, I'm thinking no, that's something different. I would have to double check that, man. I don't have anything. You're welcome, Naomi. I would have to look more into that. Could have been better, but it could have been worse. Nobody went down, so not bad. Okay, that's cool, man. CO's SGS. He went 5 days in New Mexico, riding with 3 buddies, 2 newer riders. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So we're gonna be watching this. So let's go ahead and jump into this video real quick, and then I'll answer some questions here and there, and then we're gonna hang out. Oh, Oof. Oof is right. Yeah, so there was definitely distraction. So that came up pretty quick. But let's take a look at the type of riding. So look at the mirrors real quick. So the mirrors, you're definitely removing your 360 peripheral when you don't have your mirrors in the right spot. So these mirrors are folded up, so lane filtering would be an option, or a little bit easier, I guess. A lot of people like to do that. I personally don't like to do that, but that's kind of what's going on here. So riding too fast for conditions on the road, mentality of that. What's up, DMV? How you doing? That's going to be one of the bigger problems here. So he's going about, on my screen, oops, about 74 kilometers per hour. I know it's going to be all blurred out for you guys. I'm looking at 74 kilometers per hour. If anybody wants to put that in miles per hour. Probably a little too fast for what's going on here. And you can't really see this guy's brake lights very well. But remember, if you start to close the distance between a vehicle and yourself, that means you're going faster than that vehicle. It's as simple as that. So we cannot be going as fast as this. But yeah, those damn it, I keep pushing the wrong button. I'm used to doing the editing on Premiere Pro. So these lights, these brake lights are terrible. You can't even see them from very far. But still, we all saw that well ahead of time. You could even see it from right here. So you could see that from right here. You could see that vehicle kind of just sitting there. We're getting closer and closer and closer. If that's the case, guys, 46 miles per hour. Okay, so it might be going a little bit too fast for this area. I think most places in the United States that are kind of this congested will be about 35, maybe 40. So I think that's not going to help out. So for the conditions involved, though, so it's nighttime, you can't see very well. We should be slowing down or going the speed limit, and then really looking out for what's in our path of travel, and that's not what he's doing here. So last second, he locks up. So that right there, the way this looks right here, how the handlebars are turned towards the vehicle, but the bike is leaning over. What that is doing, let me go ahead and put that back. What that is doing is locking up that rear tire. So his rear tire is sliding. His rear tire is sliding out of the way, and he's about the low side, and he hits his left leg or left side of the bike. This is called an angular incident or an angular collision, and that could be pretty bad. That could be really bad. So there's direct impact, T-bone, rear end. This is angular, so coming in from an angle like this, okay? A lot of forces are going to go into that one spot, and it's going to cause you to go flying and possibly hit a different area, like of the ground. You see how he didn't go very far? It's because he hit that and then got bounced back this way. So it's going to be just like a normal impact, straight head on, but maybe a little bit less G-forces because it's going to hopefully transmit a little bit off to the side. But still, when I see something like this, I'm going to look for injuries that are consistent with a head-on. It's going to be about the same. It really is going to be about the same. He's going to have injuries to his left leg specifically. His right leg possibly, you know, when he goes up and over the handlebars, he's going to have pretty much a lot of left side injuries. So his shoulder, his elbow, his wrists, definitely his lower extremities, and possibly his iliac crest, which is that little hip bone that you feel on the left side or right side. So that's what I would be seeing in that area. See, he's sliding. That was him locking up that rear tire. And then when you put your hands down like this, guys, when you put your hands down, that's when you start getting compound fractures and everything. So let's go ahead and skip past this one. Let's go to something different.
Am văzut când am trecut în sensul invers.
In this clip, we have a biker who stared at the police patrol and didn't see the car in front of him.
Lights,
Mamă, dar
lights,
mulți,
lights, lights.
Mamă, dar mulți mai. Ah!
That sucks. That sucks.
Era oprit aici și...
That was what you call rubbernecking.
Patrol and didn't see the car in front of him.
So this right here, his head is turned slightly. And this is what I talked about in Monday's video. So yesterday's video, I talked about, was it yesterday's? Yeah, it was yesterday's. So it was Friday's video. So Friday's video, it was the rider in Phoenix, and he was looking left. So I mentioned rubbernecking in that video, but basically in that video what it was, he's looking for the merging lane. But rubbernecking, what that means is that you look at something that you're not supposed to look at, and they say in a foolish manner. And it's typically going to be police, fire, whatever's so interesting on the side of the road. You're looking at it, looking at it, looking at it, looking at it, and then you hit something that's in front of you in your path of travel. So this is exactly what happened here. So this is why I say that sucks, because it's just a mistake, and it happens quite a bit to some people, and it's not something that's super good. You know, it's just going to cause some problems. So guys, if you're ever in this position where you see something interesting on the side of the road, make sure you keep your eyes forward. And then notice that, you know, when you're traveling, it doesn't matter if you're looking left or right or behind you, you're still going to be going forward. And you need to make sure that you're not going to hit the vehicle in front of you. So this is exactly what happened here. And he applied the brakes a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. So you're going to see the dip in the handlebars and dip in the body, and that's the weight transfer to the front. Right there.
Didn't see the
So watch his body go down like that. Right there. So then that's going to be the impact. So he applied the brakes, but that was a panic. So this right here is going to be in that brown stage that we talked about. So he was definitely not paying attention. He wasn't zoned in. He wasn't in orange stage. Red stage is when you do what you're supposed to do in an evasive way. So if he swerved around this, it would have been red. But since he failed at his swerve and he panicked, because he tried to do swerving and brake at the same time, this is what happened. This is the brown stage. So let's go ahead and skip this. We saw that.
Era oprit aici și...
Oh. Looks like he went off road. Oh, high side. That's a good video. That's good.
You alright? Yeah. That scared me, my guy.
You good, bro?
You don't have enough wheel spin. Yeah, I know.
Bro, god damn it.
At the end of the
So we're gonna go back to that. Stacks with the super sticker. Dude, thank you so much, man. Super appreciative of that. Stunting gone wrong. So I'll get to that point. Okay. So right here, it's a stunt. So it looks like it's a closed off road. So now that I got that, so it looks like it's a closed off road. They've been doing this for a while. This is an area they could definitely do it. So this is, guys, we talk about, you know, not we, I mean, a lot of people talk stack. There it is. Boom, boom. Thank you so much. Most recent super chatter. I don't know why stickers, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? I don't know why super stickers take a while, but thank you right there. Most recent super chat is Stacks. So a lot of people talk about stunters in such a negative way. I don't believe stunting is absolutely negative. I don't believe it. I think it's negative in the way of we're going to do it on a public road in between vehicles, causing a problem, being a danger with a very heavy machine, 500 pounds at a high rate of speed into another vehicle. That right there I have huge problems with. Here, if you notice on the street, this is why I paused it here. On the street, It's closed off. It looks like it's just an empty street in the middle of nowhere. And they're practicing. This is absolutely 100%. I'm truly fine with this. Now, you wear as much gear as you possibly want. I don't care. Take that back. I do care if you're hurt and injured, and it could have been preventable with gear, but it's absolutely your choice to wear full gear or not. It's absolutely your choice. But the way I look at it is it's not just you that's being affected. It could possibly be your friends. It could be your family. It could be the health insurance in that area. It could be a bunch of stuff that your simple choice of not wearing full gear could affect. So those are the people I care about once you decide not to do these things, wear gear. But if you're going to be stunting, do it in an area like this. I would do U-turns and stuff in this area. So now that we're going to watch this, he's doing some burnout, drags, whatever you want to call it. He's having some fun. He's practicing his stuff. So right here, this is what I want to talk about a little bit. So he loses traction. It's that front tire. I don't know if he grabbed front brake, but he lost traction on that front tire. You see how it looks like he grabbed brake. Yeah, he grabbed brake. Because look, see how the tires are rotating? That front tire is rotating a little bit. And then all of a sudden it stops. Right there. See how the spokes or the magnesium wheels, see right now how it's blurry? That's motion blur. It's blurry. So what I'm talking about is that front tire. I'm talking about that front tire. See how the wheels, the mag wheels are blurry? That's because the motion blur that it's moving. But then when I get to this point, the moment it decides to dump, look at that. It's not blurry anymore. That's because it stopped. That front wheel stopped. He grabbed too much front brake. It locked. He either grabbed it, so that's a good enigma for you. That front wheel locked. So it's either it locked because of too much front brake action, or his brakes in the front just locked up because of a malfunction. We don't know about that. So, but what we do know is that front brake or the front tire locked up and caused the loss of traction, and that's what it looks like. So this is why I absolutely love this portion of the video, is because we typically see it from the rider's point of view, right? We typically see the riders dumping their bikes from their point of view. So now we get to see it from the side. So this is really good. See, this is what it looks like from the side and what happens. So now, look at it. So if he just dumped it, that would have been a low side. So this would have been just a straight dump, fell to the ground. But that's what it looks like from the side view. It's really cool. Elmaz, what everyone's saying, congrats. Done my final lessons today, boys. Congrats, Elmaz. Awesome, man. Congrats. Thank you guys for cheering each other on. That's awesome. So he's going to dump the bike, and then right there. So this is where it's not blurry. You see how the front tire is blurry? Not blurry, blurry. Now that it has motion. It has motion now. So it grabbed traction on the front, and now it has motion. It's going to start rotating. And since it grabbed traction, like immediately, look at no motion, no motion, no motion, no motion, motion, because it grabbed traction. And once it grabbed traction, look how quick it happens. Within one frame, you start to go into a high side, because all that momentum has to go somewhere. Look at one frame. Boom. See that rear tire? Look at that rear tire starting to go towards the front. There it is, towards the front. And then it's going to grab, because right now it's sliding. Right now it's sliding across the ground. It's going to grab traction again. It's going to grab traction. It's going to grab traction. Here it comes. There it is. See how that it's off to an angle where his leg is? So here's the injury that you could possibly have with that leg. Look at that. Ankle could be snapped. His ankle could be snapped. And then if it's not snapped, it can transmit that forces up to your tib fib and snap your tib fib. If it doesn't snap your tib fib, it could also transmit into your knee. Now you have LCL, PCL, ACL, injuries to the knee, meniscus tears, all those things. So that whole lower extremity from the knee down could possibly be injured. So that's what I see when I see these things. Is that's how I think. So right here, see how it's leaning over? It grabs traction right here. Now it's going to go vertical. And now it's going to fling him forward. So now you see the right leg. See his right leg? If that plants and his body goes forward, now his right leg and his right knee are going to have some issues. So that right there, be very careful about. And it's also going to land on his foot. So his right foot could easily be crushed by his bike. And now we're going to be going forward. So his left leg is going to have an impact. His right arm is going to have an impact. His left arm's going to have an impact. His right pelvis or right hip, like I said, the iliac crest is going to have an impact. And now his face. I didn't say head, I said face. Now his face has an impact. This is why you need to wear full gear, guys. Imagine if it was like it's soft sand, it's all that stuff, it's perfect. Maybe it's gonna stop his impact, but imagine having this on the road. Imagine face first on the road. Okay. Now let's not imagine that anymore. Now let's go back to reality. He landed face first. Now imagine, we'll go back into imagination land. Imagine no helmet. Even in soft dirt, maybe he's just going to get mud in his mouth. Maybe he chips some teeth. Maybe he broke his jaw. Maybe he broke some teeth. Maybe he broke his nose. Maybe he's got a massive trauma to his throat. Maybe all these different things. Maybe his eyes now, he's got rocks inside of his eyes and he's punctured his eye. He tore his eyelid. He has massive contusions. He's got lacerations all over his face. Guys, this is exactly why you need to wear a helmet. Now, this can happen while you're riding normally. You don't have to be stunting for this. You don't have to do this. Easily broken shoulder. Easily. But guys, this is exactly what happens when that front tire locks up if you don't use progressive brake pressure. We just saw that Friday in that crash on the interstate where the massive amount of front brake just dumps that bike. This is what it looks like, everybody. That is a front tire lockup. It goes into a low side where it's going to dump, grabs traction, and then the front tire grabs traction. That rear tire has no traction and starts to slide up to the front, grabs traction, flips you forward into a high side. Now you have massive impacts. This is why we need to wear gear, guys.
That scared me, my guy.
You good, bro?
You don't have enough wheel spin. Yeah, I know.
Bro, god damn it.
At the end of the turn, the biker drove straight into the oncoming deer. Fortunately, nothing happened to him.
Oh. Yeah, it's a dead deer. I think I've seen this one. The deer's like struggling. That sucks. There's nothing you could do. Yeah, guys, here's the thing. When it comes to deer or any wild animals, specifically wild animals, there's not much you can do. There's not much you can do. As sad as that sounds.
At the end of the turn, the biker drove straight into the oncoming deer. Fortunately, nothing happened to him.
So, take a look. There's not much you can do in that situation. You can't even, and the color grading on this is not the best, but right here, he notices it. There's zero things you could do in this situation. That deer is gonna, you're closing that gap in less than half a second. You don't even have time to react. So this is where wearing full gear is super important, because see how he's sitting up? He just has no time to react. There's not much you can do other than wear full gear. Wear full gear just in case something like this happens. This is one of those freak accidents where even if, like in a car, you could be doing absolutely everything perfect and a deer is going to run out. I'm sorry. You have to wear full gear. And he barely was. I think he maybe had, yeah, these are normal jeans, normal jacket.
Whoa.
Nothing he could do. So the injuries on that is just like going head on into a vehicle. You're going to have massive injuries if you're not wearing gear. So he got super lucky. Here's the thing, guys. A lot of these accidents that we see, let's go to this real quick. I want to make this a point. This is going to be a point, guys. a lot of the accidents that we're watching and how they're getting up right away, and they are like, you know, he was patting himself on the shins, you know, he was doing all that stuff. You could easily have broken bones. So his right hand, his left hand, both hands basically went out forward and hit the ground first. Okay, you can have broken hands and still be, you know, tapping yourself and checking your body. Adrenaline is an instantaneous. The moment your body realizes something happened or is about to happen, you have the most amazing fast response when it comes to hormones in your body. You have dopamine release, you have epinephrine release, which is adrenaline. You have, what else? You have cortisol release. You have basically every single release of a hormone that you possibly can in a fight or flight situation. And that's going to prevent you to feel any pain at that moment. And that is a natural human response. And it's going to be instantaneous. There is no, well, in about 5 minutes, it's going to kick in. No, it's instantaneous. Instantaneous response. So wearing full gear is very important because he's going to be tapping himself and not feel it, and then what we don't see in these videos is an hour later, 20 to 30 minutes later, it's going to start to wear off. You're going to start to feel it a little bit, and then definitely the next day or two or 3 or 4 or a week or month or 2 months, 6 months, depending on what injury is happening, you're going to feel it. So we don't see that in these videos. We don't see that part. So I don't want you guys to get that false sense of a belief that these people are not wearing full gear and he got up. It's like, well, I don't need to wear full gear. He got up after his crash and he hit a deer, whatever. Guys, we don't see the part where he's in pain for the next, 3 months. We don't see that part. And I've seen that part. And I talked to people many times. We have the Discord server right here where many people are feeling it still. Many times. I just had a local bro, Creepy Creeper. I love your name, dude. He got in a crash. He got in a motorcycle accident and he's got a collarbone that's broken, and it's terrible, and he's gonna have to deal with that for a long time, possibly nerve damage. I talked to Yammy Noob for a while, and that was when he was down here. If you guys didn't notice, guys, we had a meetup. Yammy Noob and I had a good chat, and it's a very long conversation we had in a dual vlog. It's a 30-minute easily video, and we talked really briefly about his crash and the nerve damage he had in his hand. And a lot of people don't talk about that. But I think that is something very important that we need to understand, is that it's not just the crash that's going to be affecting you. It's the lifelong, or even, months and months and months, years long issues that you're going to have. So I want to say thanks to Yaminu for talking to me about that. But you guys will see that soon. See you later, Elijah. Also, guys, real quick before we jump back in, if you would like to support the channel, here's the thing: is we have 167 YouTube members. We got a big drop on Patreon, and we're at barely 400 patrons. I want to get that number back to 500. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if we hit 500, I will shave most of my beard and create some mutton chops. I'll go back to a massive stash. I'll have a giant, ridiculous stash if we hit 500 patrons. So, guys, if you'd like to support the channel that way and see me have a massive stash again, we'll get rid of the beard for that little second, and then I'll let it grow back. But guys, if you want to see me with this crazy ass stash, let's do that. So click that link right there, ddfmcrew.com/Patreon, and we are going to make stash history. But if you would like to support the channel that way, please do so. If you want to support the channel by doing some super chats or becoming a member, the newest member was Adam Schubert, so thank you so much. We'll see if we can get that 200 YouTube members. If we hit 300 YouTube members or 500 patrons, I will go back to a stash. That's the thing, bros. Anyways, here we go. Oh, bad area. Nice. Too fast, though.
That was stupid.
So he put himself in that situation, but he handled it very well. So I'm going to do something a little different for this clip. Yeah, inattention and speed is definitely going to be a factor. So there's going to be some close call factors in here, and inattention and speed are definitely that. Also, if you notice, it's a blind turn. It's somewhat of a blind turn. So those are going to be the factors that lead up to the issue, and it's our job to know to mitigate that. But if that fails us and it just comes from, or it just comes into this part right here, not the beard, bro. I hope you never get to 500 patrons. Let's see if we can get to patrons. If you want to be a member, click that join button, and we'll do that. But right here, so let me go back. We're gonna do something a little different, like I said. So we said inattention, too fast, and it's a blind turn for crash factors. So at this position right here, I would be in yellow mode or yellow stage. I'll be in yellow stage right here. And at this point, when I see all those vehicles up ahead, I immediately switch to orange. And if I'm in orange stage, I'm going to go ahead and start to decelerate and prep myself for any type of movement that I have to do, that I would have to go into red. So right now I'm in orange stage. Okay, the hazards that I'm seeing, or the possible hazards I'm seeing, are a bunch of vehicles. Right now I don't know if they're in my path of travel, but I know that there's a bunch of vehicles. If there's a bunch of vehicles, there's a bunch of people, and a bunch of people make dumb decisions, and I have a feeling one of them are going to make a dumb decision by staying in my lane or trying to cross from one side to the other. So I'm immediately in orange stage right now. So I'd be slowing down, and if that's the case, slowing down is probably going to prevent me from having to do any type of swerving or be in red stage. So orange stage right here, everybody. I need you to be in orange stage. So you see how he's accelerating. So I'm gonna go back. So but before I go back, sorry, I'm all over the place. This is why I make videos and I can edit. Right here, I am definitely slowing down. What's up, Fire Dog 911? Welcome, man. Right here, I'd definitely be slowing down, and I'd be straightening that bike up. I would not be accelerating into it. So I'm going to scroll back, and you're going to hear him accelerate into it. And you definitely don't want to be accelerating into it. So here, listen to it. You hear that part where it's like, I'll do it again. He accelerates into it. Yeah, 49 or 50. I'm unsure if that's, I don't think that's miles per hour. See that? He accelerated into it. You definitely, and that was after we all saw all those cars. So right there, all those cars, definitely slowing down. I'm definitely slowing down with all these cars. So here we go. He's going to accelerate after he sees the cars. Exactly. That's the problem. If it's miles per hour, that's even crazier. So he's accelerated into it. And see how he's applying the brakes? So right here, this is not enough total stopping distance. There's not enough. Or I'm sorry, not enough braking distance. The total stopping distance is past this vehicle. So if he just applied the brakes and just trusted to apply the brakes all the way, he's going to run into this vehicle. So you have to swerve at this point. So being attentive, seeing the hazard ahead of time, going from orange stage and slowing down would have prevented any type of need for a physical emergency skill. Does that make sense, everybody? I want you guys to write it in the chat if that makes sense, because here's the thing is that I love these live streams because I get instant feedback if that makes sense to people. That way I'll keep using that within my videos. So what I mean, and I'm going to say it again one more time, is that if you focus on your mental skills and you see these hazards ahead of time and you make minor adjustments, you are not needing to do physical evasive emergency skills. You can do normal physical skills like engine braking deceleration in orange stage. That's not an emergency skill. Slowing down, applying a little bit of brake pressure, maybe applying some throttle in some areas, whatever it is, those are not emergency skills. Those are skills that are utilized whatever the situation is happening. Non-emergency wise. Emergency is a swerve and braking. So emergency swerving, emergency braking. Those are the only two skills that you have basically when it comes to a red stage or a brown stage. So if you practice good mental normal physical skills, mental and physical skills. You'll never have to use your emergency skills. So I'm going to come up with a better way of saying that. I'm not saying emergency skills are not needed. I need you guys. Here, we're going to go back. I'm going to make a point out of this. And I'm gonna tell you guys how I figured it out and it relates to me. And Krissa, I'm watching you on the Discord. Thank you. I'm watching Discord too, guys. Thank you for commenting in there. So if you guys want to be a part of the Discord, join the Discord. Discord's absolutely free. We have 2,300 plus members in there, and I'm legit watching it too. It's off on my screen right in front of me. So join Discord, and be a Discord member. That's absolutely free. So the way I look at this, the way I look at physical and mental skills, I look at skills that are utilized all the time, and I look at skills that are hardly used but are very important. So mental and typical writing skills. Situational awareness is part of that. Situational awareness is something you should be using all the time. Engine deceleration, applying progressive brake pressure, nice and easy, come to a stop. That's used all the time. The stuff that's not used all the time is the emergency swerving, emergency braking. So in the fire service, we would run EMS calls all the time. We were really good at running EMS calls. We were really good at being situationally aware at EMS calls. We were very good at taking care of bleeding control, shock, GSW, stabbings, heart attacks, strokes. We were very good at that, and we practiced it all the time, and we trained all the time because that was 80 to 90% of all our calls. That was something that happened all the time. But that's not what kills firefighters. What kills firefighters are being in a fire and not being physically fit, or having stuff fall on top of us, or being trapped, or running out of compressed air in our SCBA tanks and not knowing how to deal with it, panicking in these fire situations. And then I'm not even going to talk about the cancer that's involved. So what firefighters do, and they should do, is they train and train and train for the stuff that is hardly used but is incredibly vital in keeping firefighters alive. So when I worked for any department, I remember it was at minimum 20 hours a month. 20 hours a month of fire-specific training. That has nothing to do with EMS. We had to do EMS training too. But 20 hours a month specific to fire training. Do any of you guys spend 20 hours a month on your motorcycle skills training? Do any of you guys spend 10 hours a month on your motorcycle emergency skills training? If we can calculate, I want you guys to think in your head right now and calculate how many hours of riding you do. Just ballpark guess. Okay, let's think. I commute to work. It's a 30-minute commute to work, 30-minute commute back. I work 5 days a week. So that's an hour a day, 5 hours a day. On the weekends, I spend about 2-3 hours a day. You're joyriding, so that's 6 hours. So 5 plus 6, that's 11 times 4. 44 hours a month. Let's say 40 hours a month. 40 hours a month you guys are riding around. Okay, so that's 40 hours of EMS calls, EMS training, whatever. You do it all the time. How many hours do you spend outside of that practicing your emergency skills? How many hours do you spend outside of that practicing your emergency skills? Maybe 20 minutes? Maybe an hour a month? Maybe 2 hours a month? I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I don't spend a lot of time either. I really don't, and not enough time. Not enough time. So that's where I need you guys to understand, is that you need to practice the skills that are hardly ever used, because they are hardly ever used. And then when you have to use it, you're going to panic. And that's what firefighters do. A lot of firefighters do. A lot of firefighters panic if something fell down, like a roof collapse, and it sliced your low pressure hose, and now you're having to do buddy breathing or something, or it caused a problem where now you're trapped. Do you know how to utilize your pass device? Do you know how to call a mayday? Do you know what to say in a mayday? Any firefighters here understand the LUNAR acronym? Do you guys understand any of that stuff? Like, Like, or I'm sorry, not a lot of you guys don't understand that stuff, but do any of you understand that how important it is when it comes to practicing your skills so that you don't panic? And that's what I'm trying to get here, guys, is that this person possibly lane filters all the time. Possibly lane filters all the time. So this whole panic into a swerve, into this small spot, into a lane filter, he probably does it all the time, and he practices it basically every single day when he's out riding. He practices lane filtering all the time, which is basically a swerve into a very small spot. With Lunar location, that is the Mayday. So location, unit, name, assignment, and resources. So during a call, Mayday, I haven't done it in a while, so I'm gonna have to read it. Let's see. It's a radio operations. So it's basically a who, what, where. So Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. I'm in a bathroom. Engine 4, Captain, French, search and rescue. I need the rapid intervention team. That right there is Lunar. So that's for firefighters. If you're a firefighter and you don't know what Lunar is, and your department doesn't train it, I highly recommend going into it. So right here, this is where typically somebody would panic and go into brown stage, but I'm guessing based off of these European plates, whether the UK or European, I have no idea because you guys are all Brexit and everything now. He's utilized his lane filtering skills that he does all the time, which I believe would make a lot of riders down here safer in the United States if we had lane splitting or lane filtering, because now it's a skill that's utilized every day. So if we have to swerve, we already know how to do it. So that right there, that whole swerving in between vehicles, that is something that is practiced every single day by lane filtering. Maybe not at that speed, but understanding that my bike can make it through that and my bike can do this. That is utilized every single day over there in Europe, and it's not something that we do in the United States, so we have to actually practice it as an emergency skill consistently because we're not allowed to do that. So that's another reason why I want lane filtering, is because now that's a skill that would easily happen for motorcyclists.
That was stupid, man. That was stupid.
In this situation, lane splitting ends pretty bad for this biker.
Oh, leg. He's wondering, I was like, what's going on? His mind's not working. Yeah, I was waiting for that to finish to answer Matt. Yeah, so you can buy sprays. Exactly what he's saying. Ventilation is gonna be the biggest thing. You definitely want ventilation going into the face shield. That's huge. Yeah, he was moaning. He was grunting. So that right there is gonna be an indication of some type of injury. So let's go back. You don't want to go through that gap. And I know culturally a lot of people in this area will. So just be aware that's not a gap that you should be doing.
In this situation, lane splitting ends pretty bad for this biker.
So his leg. You see he got hit again? No, that was him stalling. He stalled. It jumped forward because he stalled. See, this whole, like, confused state, that's the fight or flight panic mode, and this is where your training kicks in. So if you're a new rider, this is probably what it looks like, but as a more experienced rider that stalled a few times or understands why the bike isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, you're typically in and out of this situation pretty quick. So this right here is just somebody that's not familiar for what he's doing, or the endorphins and everything just shot up into his brain, all the hormones, and it's just causing a lot of confusion. So that's typically what I see. And he possibly got a leg injury, that right leg. So we'll go back. Just want to say I feel as though I'm a better rider after watching your videos and much more aware of my surroundings. Thanks, bro. Nick, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Guys, I'm going to do something. I'm gonna do something here. I've had this idea for a very long time, and I want to share with you guys, and I'm starting to really like finalize it and get it down. I got your guys' input with a really good survey. I really appreciate the survey that you guys were able to do. I'll be showing that. I'll be throwing that survey out again for you guys to help me out. But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm creating a 30-day motorcycle, not challenge, but like 30 days to a better motorcycle rider. That's what it's going to be called. I didn't want to give it out, but 30 days to a better motorcycle rider. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be grabbing people that have never ridden before. I'm going to be, even if you have been riding before, I'm going to show you step by step, week by week for 30 days, what you should be doing. Okay, that's kind of what I talked about right here with the firefighter training for 20 hours a month. We're going to spend some time. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not something that like, well, I'm just going to read an ebook. This isn't an ebook. This is not, no guys, this is what you guys are going to be doing, and we're going to have some accountability for it. 30 days to a better motorcycle rider, and I'm going to be spending some time on situational awareness. And I'll be utilizing my patrons and my YouTube members as beta testers. So if you are a YouTube member or a patron, you're going to get it for free. So I'm building up the resources to pay some people to get some photography, to get the website and everything going. So I just want to give you guys, this is typically going to be an update for patrons and YouTube members, but I want you guys to know. I want you guys to know too, because you guys are making this possible also by watching these and also doing super chats and donations and everything. So guys, it's going to be a huge thing, a huge undertaking for me. Please give me some time. I'm not just here making YouTube videos only. I have huge plans for how to make you guys better riders. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So that brought up, Nick, that's exactly what brought it up to me, man, is that you said you feel much better watching my videos and I'm much more aware of my surroundings. That to me is huge. And that is kind of where I'm going at when it comes to this. Okay, it's not just surroundings, but I'm going to spend quite a bit of time on situational awareness during these 30 days. And then I'm going to be building you guys up slowly until you get to that 30th day. And then I'm going to leave you guys with something to where you can practice month after month after month after month. And it's going to be a huge program. So it's going to be something that I'm really pushing for 2020, especially the first 6 months. So Robert, dude, you definitely will. All patrons and all YouTube members will be beta testers if you guys want to. So you'll get it for free, whether you're a $2 patron or a $100 patron or YouTube member. You'll get it for free. I want you guys have been 100% supportive of this, but I want your ideas, everybody. So if you are a patron, I'm going to make a post pretty soon. I want your ideas. Today I made it to school and back for the second day. Remember, I was following U-turns, your community, and helped so much. Thank you so much. Dude, thank you, Ratchet TV. I really appreciate the $5. Dude, that's awesome, man. I remember watching, we did your video, man. We did your video, so that's awesome, man. I remember. You were in the parking garage, I believe. So thank you guys for being patrons and YouTube members. You guys are, it's almost like a crowdfunding now. We're transitioning from being a patron or YouTube member as in of a support because I get demonetized. That still happens. I still get demonetized, but I've been working with YouTube a little bit more to hopefully I don't need secondary income to pay for the demonetized videos. So now it's going to be transitioning more into you guys are helping me build a program for you guys, okay? So I'm super happy about that. All right, let's jump into this one. Oh!
This biker.
What the heck? That, he locked up that rear tire. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. He high-sided. Anybody remember how to make it go slower? Anybody remember the key? There we go. Never mind. I wonder what happened here. We could have lost traction on that rear tire. You see how? This is what I'm talking about. You see how he's sideways? So that rear tire lost traction. I don't know if this is wet. This little area right here is wet. That rear tire could have easily lost traction. And I can't tell based off of his engine noise and exhaust if he accelerated the last second. Joel Messerly. Hopefully I said that right. Dude, thank you for becoming a patron. You guys didn't notice that if you become a patron during the stream, everybody gets to know how badass you are. So if you become a patron, please do so. Also, if you're a $5 and up patron, you get the After the Ride podcast early. Connor FXDB was part of that podcast. So, what was it? Yeah, go join up and watch that podcast. Yeah, I can't tell. That rear tire slides. It's that rear tire lost traction. The rear tire lost traction turned into a high side. Hey, yo, Matt. How you doing?
This biker is really lucky. The truck misses him by a few inches only.
Oh. We're gonna go back. I'm not gonna watch the rest of that. Let's see.
The truck misses him by a few inches only.
So he dumps the bike. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This was all front brake. That he panicked. He panicked and applied the front brake and dumped the bike. So a simple low speed, this is probably less than 10 miles an hour, maybe 10 miles an hour. Low speed dumps the bike, but it can have a massive outcome, like bad consequence. It could have a really bad consequence. So yeah, Quentin, dude, if that, what I'm talking about is, you know, I already got, here, I'm going to show you guys. I got a lot of the content done. But from your guys' review, from what you guys wanted, because we did the whole survey, is that who is this for? So 45% of you are commuters. That's what you guys said in the survey. And then the other 45%, you guys say you ride for leisure. There's about 10% that's mixed around with a bunch of little different things. But for the big portion of you, 90% of you is just commuting and leisure. So that's who this is for. That's who this is for. Let me know in the comments or in the chat right now if that's what you guys do, because I want to make sure I'm doing what's right for you guys. So a lot of you guys say your weaknesses, number 1 was high speed maneuvers. Number 2 was slow speed. Number 3, group riding. And number 4, braking and swerving. So a lot of you guys say you're fine with braking and swerving, basically compared to these 3, but we will be covering all 4 of these. Okay, but I'll be doing a heavy focus on the top 2, and then the somewhat of a focus on the last 2. Okay. Where was the survey? If you guys want the survey, you guys want me to do the survey for you guys? Here, I'll put the survey in the chat. I'll put the survey in the chat. So if you guys still want to, there's the survey. And I'll also put it in the description. Let me go ahead and do that. Survey. So if you have to, you might have to update your YouTube session, because I just updated it. And then a lot of you guys say your strengths were hazard perception, slow speed maneuvers, and then obviously braking, swerving, high speed maneuvers. So 30 days to a better motorcycle rider. That's what I'll be focusing on. And this is what I'm figuring out who is it for, and I'm tailoring my coaching to that. Does that make sense to you guys? Is there a way for someone to figure out if a bike would be too heavy for them if they drop it despite being a bike they really like? So that's a great question. When it comes to, so massive platform shoes. When it comes to heavy bikes, guys, you have to realize that even the smallest person can pick up a really heavy bike. There's a technique to it. I did go over some of the techniques. There is a technique for it. And that is something that I will be going over in my accident scene management courses and my videos. is because you might have to lift a bike off of a rider or a patient. So there's a way to do it so you don't get injured, and I'll be talking about that. But to answer that question specifically, the way to figure out if a bike would be too heavy for them, every bike is too heavy for every individual, basically. They're heavy bikes. But utilizing proper technique and leverage, you can easily pick up a bike. And when I say easily, I mean it. I absolutely mean it.
By a few inches only.
So he dumps the bike, and damn it, wrong button. He dumps the bike, and this is where I'm saying is that even a simple mistake like that can cause a really bad problem. Is that his head can go under this tire of this semi and easily be crushed. Doesn't matter if you have a helmet on, could be crushed. Could be crushed easily. So guys, if you want to help out with the survey and be a patron to help out there, please do so. Click that link, join Patreon, it helps out. That was close. So this right here, blind area, blind. It's more of a case of catching a heavier bike in a wobble bad stop, not so with my tracer drops my bike. Okay. The way he did, yeah. Yeah, so he picked it up pretty good. Get some more beards here too. Yeah, guys, if you notice, Robert right there's got a beard, and Naomi's got a beard, and all the bros, Enigma for You's got beards. That's because they're badass YouTube members. So become a YouTube member today by clicking that join button right next to the subscribe button. Or if you guys are in the chat right now, you click that little money symbol and it should say join also, or become a YouTube member. That's how you become a YouTube member. So that right there will help out. But yeah, 500 patrons, I'm gonna get a sick ass mustache. 300 YouTube members, I'm gonna get a sick ass mustache. So that's gonna be the goal for that. All right. So this is a blind turn. Definitely want to slow it down. This is right now I'm gonna be in orange mode. I'm in orange mode. That vehicle right there might scare me, but since I've been in orange mode and I've been prepared for any type of situation coming up, I would have just rolled off the throttle a little bit, maintain my lane. The challenge sounds awesome. Most interested in awesome, man, and thank you for what you do, man. It saves lives, encourages learning. I will become a member. Awesome, Quentin. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are making it to where I can do this. It really is. So right here, he's off the road. He's off the road right there. He was able to keep it up. So thankfully, he's still looking this way. If he was looking at this pole or this tree, he would run into it. He would run into it. Nick, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do, man. All I care about is saving lives. I just care about saving lives and saving you guys money, to be quite honest. Because if you guys crash a bike for something dumb, I know how bad I would feel if that was me. I'd beat myself up for months, possibly over like a year, of how dumb that was, depending on how bad injured I got or the bike got damaged. I'd be so upset by something that could have been preventable, and I don't want you guys to have to deal with that. So that's why I do this, guys. I want you guys to be absolutely safe and not have to deal with all the bullshit that comes with crashing a bike, because this is an amazing thing that we do. We have a great time. It releases so much stress. It relieves my depression and anxiety by doing what I do here. So I want that to be the same for you guys, if that makes sense. And I keep saying that, if that makes sense, because I feel like I'm like the only one that has to deal with this, and I'm not. I already know I'm not the only one that has to deal with this. So bless you guys for being so supportive. Low side, low side. Oh, sorry. 1 second. What video was that? That was around the 5.5 minute mark. So, Nick does this one. Okay, so he's 20 subs. Okay, so whichever one's the biggest one. So, where's the crash? All right, low side crash. Okay, so this is why I go to the video afterwards. Okay. Tiger, you cringe too? Dude, exactly, Robert. Wind therapy, man. So this is Yami Noob and I had a great conversation while we're on Mount Lemon. And we were talking about why you should do this stuff at a track, and this is exactly why. We were passing this big boulder, or not boulder, big side of the mountain, and we're talking about like, hey, if you low side or you do anything, you're going right into that, and you're gonna die. So this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the guardrail. 83 miles per hour, exactly, dude. All right, so there's the low side. That's immediately the low side. And that's going to be the big problem with this, is that you're going too fast. Look, it says 96. That could have been just easily jumped out by the wheel, the rear tire spinning. He's got his gauge right here. He's in 4th gear. That's an aftermarket gauge. I have one just like that for Nikki's Rebel. Nico, dude. Nico, if you are guys, if you're a YouTube member, you have to do the biker wave whenever a new member shows up. You have to. So right here, this is what I'm talking about. And it's not going to show it because right at the last second, the bike hits the guardrail. But the bike hits the guardrail, guys. Where do you think this rider is sliding into? He's sliding into that guardrail. That right there is what's going to screw you up. He's wearing Nico Para just became a member. Look at that. I love all the biker waves, dude. Thank you so much. You start off with a mustache. You just got to grow into that beard, bro. You have to grow into that beard. He's wearing full track leathers. Full gear. Full absolutely everything. That is not going to prevent you from getting hurt when you're going 80 miles an hour into a guardrail. The fact that he was able to get up and post this means that he survived. That is huge. Green chat, dude. Robert, dude. Thursdays, guys. Thursdays, it's all green chat because Thursdays it's members only chat. It's open to public, but it's where we have a great conversation between us as members, and that is something I want to give YouTube members specifically. So if you're a YouTube member on Thursdays, you get to participate in the chat, and we get to go over a topic. Actually, let me know, guys in the chat. Everyone in the chat. We're over an hour right now, but we're gonna finish this one up. Everyone in the chat. Let me know what topic you would like to cover or me to cover on Thursday and have a great conversation about with you guys as YouTube members. Let me know in the chat. But right here, doesn't matter what type of gear you have. You're going to that guardrail and you're getting severely injured. So this is the aftermath of the bike. So when you look at the bike, look how much damage to that bike is done. That's your flesh. I'm going to have to mute that because that's music. So that's flesh. That's easily your flesh. Ugh. This stuff is harder to break than it is to puncture your skin. Oh, this is like an old Toyota truck that my dad used to have. Look at it, completely demolished. Completely demolished. Sean, welcome back, dude. Also, guys, it saves your spot. So if you ever become a member and then leave because of financial or whatever it is, you just don't like me anymore, but then you like me about 6 months later, it saves your spot. So Sean, you still got the beard, so welcome back, dude. It keeps your spot. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You've been a long-time supporter, dude. I already know you. Look at that. Completely destroyed. That's your bones. This right here, it's easier to break a bone than it is to do that to your gas tank. Serious. Dude, Sean, I know you've been on Patreon for the longest time. Same thing. I mean, you just came back, dude. I really appreciate it. Look at it. It kept your beard, bro. 7 months for Robert on you, Enigma. 4 months. I think if you guys hover it on the computer, it says it. Look at the beard, the power beard. So these are all the emojis that you get. I'm gonna go ahead and click every one. Those are all the emojis you get if you are a member. But yeah, man, that could easily be. Ugh. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit like on this video because it saves it. There you go. Add it to my like videos. All right, let's do this. So guys, we hit that 1 hour mark. I'm gonna go back to editing pretty soon. Don't leave yet. I'm considering a YouTube member as well as my existing patron due to Whisker Envy. Dude, you have to. You have to. I'm going to be fixing up the live stream so it shows the total amount of patrons if I possibly can. But it's super easy to see the total amount of YouTube members. So guys, like I said, you know what? Let's make it 250. 250 YouTube members. I will shave my beard and I'll just have this really crazy. Look at the mustache, guys. Look how long the mustache is. The mustache goes down to here. It goes down to here. So if we get 250 YouTube members or 500 patrons, I'm legit going to shave everything, the whole chin, and just have some sick ass. You know, I'll start off with really, really awesome mutton chops, but it'll turn into like the giant handlebar mustache if we can get to that. Lion, welcome. I know you have to go to sleep though. You got to sleep though. But guys, I will be creating that 30 days to a better motorcycle rider. Might have to work a little bit on the name, but that is what I got planned. I'm finding out all these different things. I'm doing my own thing. I'm focusing on the medical stuff. I want to be, guys. I want to be the person that everybody goes to when it comes to how to be a safe rider, not to be a better rider in terms of speed. Not to be, the quickest rider, but to be the safe rider, the safest rider. I want to be that mascot. Does that make sense? I keep saying that. I don't know why I keep saying that. I want to be that. I want to be the Sparky of firefighting. Does that make sense to you guys? I want to be Sparky of firefighting. I want people to be like, that is that person. I recognize that person as motorcycle safety. That is what I want. To recognize me as motorcycle safety. And you guys are making it possible. And the only way I can do that is if I absolutely focus on the safety. And I got to give you guys something. I have to give you guys a program. Motorcycle EMT, exactly. I'm motorcycle EMT. I'm not going to change my name. DanDanTheFireman, I love it. Save the date for you, October 8th, 11th. Oh. Okay. Save the date. Robert, you're going to have to remind me. Viper, welcome. Arden Nielsen, safety instructor. So, I went out in 2019. I went out and became an MSF rider coach last year around this time. Last January 2019, became an MSF rider coach. The 3 months prior to that, in 2018, I took as many classes as I possibly can. During 2019, around June, July, I went out and became an accident scene management instructor. So I got more education on that. And then I reapplied and I had to take a whole refresher course and got my EMT recertified. This year, I'm going to be utilizing all the information and everything that I learned in 2019 and applying it into this whole 30 days to a better motorcycle rider. And I'm going to be making something for you guys. And all patrons, all YouTube members will get it for free. Right now, leading up to it, my goal is to have it out within the next 3 to 6 months. So it takes a lot. It really does take a lot. And I'm going to be utilizing that. 2020 is going to be amazing. I need to create a little mascot. Exactly. Yeah, I need to. I definitely need to. But guys, I will be hanging out in the Discord. And I will be editing. I'm working really hard right now, guys. I've created a bunch of videos recently. I'm going to be working super hard. Florida Man with the $10 donation. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Look at that. It shows right here. So guys, every time you guys donate, it shows that you donated to the stream. This is live. What GIF should we use? I like the stream GIFs. I love this. This one's a good one. I need to create my own. Yeah, Matt, exactly. That is my overlooked thing, and I definitely want to do collaborations with people that know more than me. From a safety standpoint, T-clocks is going to be the biggest thing. And then if you do anything aftermarket, make sure you do it right. I did the After the Ride podcast with Scott. He's a motorcycle tech here locally, and he talked from a safety point of view with maintenance in mind. I talk about safety point of view with the human in mind. So it was a great conversation, and I definitely want to get him back on. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and text him and say, hey, man, I'd love to get you back on, and we can talk more. I think that'd be really cool. Desroyne, you love that motorcycle. Keep it warm, guys. Guys, if it's cold outside, bring your bikes inside. Okay? Bring them inside. If you're cold, they're cold too. No, you're not allowed to, Matt. You can't. Click that like button, everybody.